Working labor evolved significantly due to mechanization, shifts in economic structures, and social transformations. The effects of immigration, the decline of slave trade, mining and manufacturing growth, the division of labor and the rise of union movements shaped France's workforce and the industrial landscape. As France industrialized, immigrant labor became essential in factories, mines, and infrastructure projects. Belgian and German immigrants provided skilled and unskilled labor in textiles and metallurgy. Italian and Spanish workers contributed significantly to construction, agriculture, and mining. North African laborers, particularly from Algeria, a French colony after 1830, started migrating to cities like Paris, Lyon, and Marseille, where they worked in low-wage industrial jobs. Despite their contributions, immigrants faced discrimination and poor working conditions, often regulated to the lowest paying and most dangerous jobs. There was a decline of slave trades, and it had a large impact on labor. While France was a major colonial power, the abolition of slavery in 1848 transformed its labor dynamics. French reliance on slavery for colonial plantations was disrupted by abolition, forcing plantation owners to seek alternative labor sources. Former slaves and colonial subjects from Africa and the Caribbean migrated to France in search of work, particularly in the ports of Marseille.
There was a growth of mining and manufacturing, a shift from agrarian labor. The Industrial Revolution led to the rise of large-scale mining and mechanization manufacturing. Coal and iron mining increased dramatically to support railroads, steel production, and factory machinery. Mining jobs were physically demanding and dangerous, with frequent cave-ins, gas explosions, and lung diseases.
However, when it came to manufacturing and the factory systems, the introduction of steam engines, mechanized looms shifted production from skilled artisans to factory workers. Women and children made up a more desirable to factory owners. The rise of the wage labor systems meant that workers had little control over their schedules and productivity. Contrasting with earlier guide-based labor systems, factories introduced repetitive tasks where workforce focused on single steps in production. Poor workers conditions, long hours, 12 to 16 per day, child labor, and lack of job security led to the emergence of labor movements.
Key movements in response to the labor were noted when silk weavers demanded better wages and working conditions. The revolts were violently suppressed by the government. Almost 30 years later, after years of worker resistance, France partially legalized unions, allowing workers to organize for better wages. But another strike appeared in the late 19th century when the miners' strikes highlighted the dangerous conditions in coal mines, and textile workers and metal workers demanded 8-hour workdays and safer workplaces. By 1900, France had established some labor protections, but industrial workers continued to fight for improved conditions. While industrialization brought economic growth, it also led to exploitation and inequality, sparking worker resistance and social